Hi, I'm Danny,
Hi, I'm Mel.
and we're the Sheehan sisters. If you haven't seen our face before, we do podcast slash commentary style videos on topics we like to talk about.
So grab your coffees, your juice, your water, grab a snack, get cozy, and let's let's just talk.
Let's get into it. Should I tell them what we're talking about today?
Yes, let them know, Danny.
Well, it's never it's never an easy explanation because we do like to combine different topics. However, we do like to have an overall theme, I would say. Maybe not every time, but we do try to have some sort of like cohesive theme.
Right, as we explained in our last video, it's a bubble map. Or kind of like, even an after school special, there might be a few stories. There's an overall theme. That's it. There's an overall theme. And I actually would like to just play a video for Danny and for the viewers to kind of really grasp the essence of this channel.
I love that. I didn't even tell them though what we're talking about yet.
Oh, we didn't. And you know what? Stay tuned. You're on the edge of your seat. Little cliffhanger. It's coming.
I mean, obviously you're going to see the title we choose. And that's why you clicked on this video, and we appreciate it. So let's check out Mel's video because I have no idea what she's showing us. And sorry, we love to bring the chaos immediately. I know some people want a script. They want the script, they want what's the word I'm looking for? They want it to flow.
Right, they want the calm seas, and we are not that.
A tidal wave. We're tidal waves because you're gonna get different waves that are gonna hit you depending on the topic, you know?
Exactly.
So if you like the ocean and you like the beach, this channel's for you.
If you like to surf,
surf our channel.
Oh my god, yes. The waves will keep crashing. I don't know. Anyway,
we're crashing out. Let's play the clip.
Starting now. This is us.
Oh God.
The two most annoying, irritating zodiac signs. First, we have Gemini. They talk all the time. You never get a word in edgewise. And we have Sagittarius, always with their philosophy, always have a philosophical idea. Drives you nuts. Anyway, those are the two. I'm Carol Starr, and I bring astrology down to earth. And thank you guys for always being here.
I'm crying.
And I just feel like that's what you get when you come to this channel.
Damn, Carol really did us dirty. But she has really cute glasses, so I'm not too mad.
She dragged us.
In what? Less than a sentence?
She said, I don't even need 30 seconds. Give me 5 and I'll tell you. So guess which one of us is a Gemini and guess which one of us is a Sagittarius.
But we have revealed this, I think.
We've revealed it many times, so.
Many times, but I don't know because we did purge our page, so we might have.
We did delete most of our astrology videos, but there is a reel. Not a reel, it's not a reel. It's a short. There's a short and a reel on our Instagram that states which sign is which, and it is Sag season.
Let's go.
Wow, which one of us?
Which one is the Sag? Which one is the Sag? Okay, send the birthday wishes regardless. So today's video, we're talking about money. Okay, we're obsessed with money. The world operates off of money, so the world is ran by money. You know, Duncan's slogan is like, everyone runs on Dunkin'. It's like everyone runs on money. So
It's America, isn't it America?
America's slogan is exactly.
No, but isn't Dunkin' America runs on Dunkin'? Did they change it? Did they get rid of that?
Oh, was it America?
I don't know. Is that right? Does that sound right? Anyway, now that we don't have a fucking whole information machine in front of us,
Not like we could just Google it. Let's see.
it launched in 2006 as their slogan, America runs on Dunkin'.
Okay, so you know what? I fixed it for them because we're all inclusive here. You know, everyone runs on Dunkin'. But we really don't. We run on the coffee we got from the grocery store and we make it ourselves to save money. Yay! But really, America's slogan is America runs on money. So I saw this video and I sent it to Mel and I was like, I really want us to talk about this because we've experienced something similar and I'm sure many of you have as well. And Mel's immediate response was, I don't know, it's so, what did you say? It's so sticky talking about money.
Money is a tricky topic, which is also kind of the point of us bringing it to the video, because we're not just, even though majority of our videos have kind of been revolved around money and finances and consumerism and things of that nature, this is specifically talking about friendships and money. And that's where it gets tricky.
That's a slippery slope. And what we're gonna do is slide on into this video so that we can share our commentary and maybe share some stories. Let me pull it up.
I didn't love that analogy, but it's okay.
Slippery slope. Let's see. We can.
No, we're gonna leave it. We're sliding. We're already slid. We're already on the ice.
Because it's when you share money, you're on thin ice. Anyways, we're cutting this.
Are we though?
What? Are we? We might keep it in. Might keep it in. Never know. Okay. Before I share the video, I know I said we were already down the slope, but we took a quick pause on the slope to remind you all, if you haven't seen our previous episodes, first of all, go watch that. Mel and I want to incorporate reading into our lives on a consistent basis. So we are trying to inspire you all to join us. We are picking a book of the month. This is our overall goal is to have a book a month, but we're gonna start slow and steady with the first book to get you all, to invite you all. We're inviting you all. So if you'd like, stay tuned to the end of this video to find out what book we will be reading over, I would say, December to January. We're aiming to finish the book up mid-January, maybe. I said the end of January, but Mel thinks that's too long.
I want to give us I want to challenge ourselves to read a book a month. And there are some people who are reading like 20 books in a month, but we're trying to get ourselves back into it and to encourage other people to get back into reading if they haven't in a while. I want to try to go for a month, and we may even finish the book sooner to that, but by mid-January have it done and have a video. Probably by the end of January have the video like fully on the book, if that makes any sense.
I don't know if we'll do a full video on the book, but it'll definitely be a portion within the podcast. So, like I said, follow along, stay tuned to the end of the video, find out what book we're reading, and join us so that we can chat about it for the new year. 2026 is approaching. Let's go.
Yes. And eventually we do want to have like set segments in the podcast. So a book will be one of them. And yeah, just stay tuned for that. We're just going to keep staying tuned. Don't ever tune out. Anyway.
Exactly. Don't ever shut off the Sheehan sisters. Okay. So the video I'm showing today is a re-upload. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the original creator. So if y'all end up knowing where this video originated, put it down in the comments. This person is telling us a story of their girls' trip that they ended up paying for with the intention of their friends paying them back. We all know how that goes, right? Let's see what she has to say.
Okay, so I don't know if this is petty or not, but a few years ago, I decided to go on a girls' trip. And I said, okay, to make things easier, like, I'll put everything on my card and you guys just pay me back. So we booked this like almost 2 months in advance. And all I told them was, make sure you pay me back. Like, I don't like to think about money. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to ask for it. Like, do the right thing and just pay your part, like, before we get there, so it doesn't make anything weird. And so, you know, the day of the trip finally arrives and not one person has paid me back yet. So I was like, okay, maybe when I see them in person, because we're all riding together, that, you know, they'll pay me back. So we get in the car. I don't say anything. Everyone's, you know, turned up, having a good time. Still nothing. I'm like, okay. So we're pulling into the hotel, and finally I was like, hey, y'all, like, no one paid me back yet. Like, it wasn't cheap. Like, just the room was over $2,000. Like, it was a suite. Like, it wasn't cheap. And I prepaid for like dinner reservations and like all the events that we were going to. Like, I paid for everything up front. And so they're like, oh yeah, we just got to go to the ATM. We got you. Like, all of them were on the same page. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. But that works. That's fine. But I mean, I have Zelle or whatever, but it's whatever. So we get to the hotel, we check in, and still nothing. So we go downstairs, and she, one of the girls is like, you know, I want to go get something to wear for tonight. And so we go to the little mall. It's like everyone's shopping. Victoria's Secret, they're going to H&M. Like, still, no one has paid me my money back. So I was like, all right, bet. I'm not asking again. I'll ask once, and that's it. I'm not asking again. So that night I had reservations to this really, really nice spot. And so everyone gets super dressed up, and we go to dinner, and like 20 minutes in, I'm like, hey, I'll be right back. I went back to the hotel room. I changed into some sweatpants. I packed up all my shit, went down to the front desk, and I said, I am checking out of room, blah, blah, blah. And no one's allowed in there because I'm the only name on the reservation. I canceled all the reservations that we had. I canceled all the events that we were going to. I took an Uber to the airport, rented a car, and drove my ass home. I don't know, is that petty?
I have many feelings about this. I feel like, number one, that is a great friend to offer to put the whole trip on your card. Not many people would do that. And for your friends to ultimately take advantage of your kindness, that's the part that got me effed up. That got me fucked up, okay? I'll never understand people who do this. I'll never understand the people that refuse to pay you back. I just think that you're entitled. I was gonna say two different options, but I just think you're entitled. You're entitled. You don't think that you have to pay this person back. You think that you can just, did they say that this was a gift? No, they didn't say, oh, I'm treating you. No, they said, hey, I'll put it on my card so we can all have a great trip. I'll solidify everything. Just pay me back. That's all you have to do. You had someone put the whole trip on their card and plan everything for you, and you're going to be so entitled and ungrateful that they have to remind you to pay them back during the trip. Mind you, it wasn't even like they told you before we go, pay me back. No, you're on the fucking trip and you still don't have it in your mind like, oh my God, let me pay you back so that I have a clear mind. We can all enjoy ourselves. Thank you so much for doing this. No, you wanna do the runaround of like, yeah, I'm gonna take money out of the ATM. Why does someone have to remind you multiple times that you owe them money?
You are taking all the words out of my mouth. Like, I feel like I have nothing, not that I have a lot more to say, but all the key words of like taking advantage, entitlement, everything you're saying, I agree with 100%. And it's like, why do I have to now be a debt collector? Why do I now have to text you multiple times? And if anyone does know who this creator is, I would love to know so I can hear a follow-up. I would also like to know if her friends had a pattern of this behavior in the past. I don't know. I wouldn't think that you would do something as generous if they did have this kind of pattern.
Can I interject?
Interject.
They actually do have a follow-up video where they explain what happened after she ended up leaving the trip.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know if we want to play that as well.
Okay, so here's part 2 to my girls' trip. Yeah! Gone horribly wrong video. So I'll try to make it really quick. We had a mutual friend that was there with us who was local, and he called me 2 days later and gave me all the tea. Because before I was even in the Uber, those girls were blocked from everything, from all social media, phone, everything. So come to find out, they were at the restaurant ordering $60 drinks. They ordered steak, they ordered dessert, appetizers, everything. And when it came time to pay, they were like, where the hell is Charlie? Like, where is she? She's been gone for a long time. Like, they didn't even wait for me to eat, which is wild, but whatever. So they tried to call me and it wasn't ringing. So they were like, is she okay? Did she block us? Like, what happened? So, when it came time to pay, our friend was like, so are y'all going to pay or like, what's going on? And they were like, well, we don't have it right now. Like, we have to go to the ATM. They tried to pull the ATM card on him too. And so he was like, okay, I will pay for it and you guys just pay me back. Like, let's go to the ATM. They're like, well, let's go try to find Charlie first. So they went back to the hotel and they went up to the front desk, and 2 of the girls had like super bright suitcases that stood out, and they saw them by the front desk because they were going to take them to the back. And so they were like, why are our suitcases up here? And they were like, oh yeah, the guest that was in the room, she checked out and she said that she was the only name on the reservation. She said no one else is allowed in the room. And the room is, not available anymore. It was a holiday weekend, so there was no more rooms in the whole hotel. And so one girl like had a breakdown in the middle of the hotel because she was like, what's happening right now? I don't know what's going on. So our friend said that they could stay with him at his studio apartment where he had like a tiny little couch. And he said all night they were like calling friends, calling parents, family, trying to get people to send them money. And I was like, well, why didn't they just like leave and go home? And he said, because I had filled up the girl's gas tank who drove. They did not even have enough money to put gas in the car to get home. And so I was like, that is insane. One girl said she had like $23 to her name. That's all she had with her. And I was like, okay, whatever. So the next day, they went out to go get some food. And the one girl who had $23, she starts ordering stuff, and they were like, whoa. Like, how are you paying for this? She was like, we're friends. You guys got me until we get back home, right? And they were like, no, like, we barely got it. They barely got enough money from people to get some food and to get home. And so they were like, I guess they told her, there's a McDonald's down the street with a $1 menu. Like, you're going to have to go eat that. And old girl, like, really had to go get McDonald's and bring it back to the restaurant while they were eating. But, I mean, I learned my lesson from this whole thing. I'm never, ever doing that again because that just, like, gave me PTSD to the fullest.
They basically had a local friend who helped them out, but most of them didn't really even have the money to be on that trip. So
the fact that they didn't even notice she was gone throughout dinner, already red flag, not good friends. If your friend left for the bathroom 20 minutes ago, I'd be like, we should go check on her, call her.
I feel like I have many feelings on this. I noticed that friend trips end up showing you not only your true character, but your friend's true character. And then you really get a better understanding of how good of a friend this person is. When you travel with someone and you stay at a hotel with someone, I think that's the make or break of the friendship. Does this make sense?
No, of course, yeah, it makes sense. You're spending more close time with them. You're, waking up, going to sleep. You're almost kind of living together for a short period of time if you are staying in the same hotel room. And you're just spending a lot more time than you usually would with someone, and you're outside of your comfort zone and your natural environment. So yeah, you're going to see a lot more about someone in a trip. But also I think money also tells you a lot about someone. And we're not over here to shame people like, oh, you're broke, you don't got no money. That's not what we're here to do, because I don't want it to come across that way. That's why I was saying this is like such a tricky topic. I think, like you were saying, there's people who feel entitled. There are people who will see how much they can take from you and see how much they can get away with. Where like her friends can flip it onto her of like, oh, how unsafe of you to leave us out there stranded. And I'm sure there's videos on the internet of their side of the story where they have their own perception of how things went. Not saying she's wrong in the situation, but where like they're gonna point it out to make her wrong in the situation. And like, that's again my own paranoia of like people flipping it onto me and making me the bad guy. And like, again, that's my people pleasing tendency to just be like, everything's fine, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, because I'm also like that person where, hold on, Nala's coming over. You want to lay over here? Nala made an appearance. Go ahead. She wants to lay next to me. I am also like this person where I don't want to ask you multiple times. If I ask you once, that's going to be the extent of it. And I also like to avoid confrontation. So I do find myself being like you, where you're like, oh, no worries. Like, I'm just going to move on. And that's what these people do depend on. Like, oh, Daniel will forget about it. And I don't want to have to constantly remind you, because it is uncomfortable. Like asking someone, yo, where's my money? I feel like it can be really uncomfortable. I mean, some people, that's not a problem for them. If you owe them money, they're not going to stop until they get it. But a lot of the times it becomes more of a headache to track down this person and to get your money, that you just end up like taking the loss. You end up taking the loss because it becomes more of a headache to get your own money back. And you're like, well, I'm not going to keep asking this person, and I'm not going to keep stressing about this when they clearly don't want to pay me back. Right. And that says more about them than it does about you. And like Mel was saying, sorry, go ahead.
No, continue.
Like you were saying, they want to make you out to be the bad guy, because the minute you end up cutting them off, they'll be like, oh, I was going to give it to you next month. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, I don't know what their problem is. I was going to pay you back, but you didn't pay me back when I asked you. Or you didn't communicate, oh, I'll give it to you in 2 weeks. No, these friends said, oh, we're going to go to the ATM. So let's go to the ATM right now. Let's just get this out of the way so we can all enjoy the trip. Like when you start to string your friend along, if you owe them money, you're clearly prolonging and procrastinating to pay that person back. Why can't you just be honest and be like, hey, I don't have it right now. I really appreciate you dishing it out and putting that money up front. Like, I'm going to pay you back by this date, or I get paid this date and I got you. But no, when they do the runaround, that's already the red flag that they don't intend to pay you back.
Exactly. And what I was gonna say is, you mentioned like not liking confrontation. And I've noticed that, not like to like say anything negative about you, but I've noticed a lot of people be like, I don't like confrontation, when it comes to something that it's not a confrontation. It's, I'm an adult, you're an adult, we made an agreement, you're not following through your agreement, but it becomes a confrontation is what so I understand what you're saying. We're like, I don't want the confrontation, because I get that, where it's like, now it's this weird like argument or conflict.
Right, but have you ever been in the situation where you didn't know you were gonna end up being the one paying, and then in the moment they're like, "Oh, I'll pay you back like later this month," because that's happened to me where the person was like, "Oh, guys, like I don't have the money right now, but I'll send it to you when I get paid," and then you're like, "Wait a minute, I didn't know this was gonna be the deal."
It's happened to me one too many times, and that's why I'm like talking about it, and I'm like, again, still worried. And a lot of the times, if you go to a hotel or a bar, they'll say we need one card on file. One card. You can't always split it. Like if you go out to dinner, yeah, let's split the bill. That's another topic. We'll get to that in a second, actually. But if you go to like a hotel or you go out to a bar, they'll say we need one card on file. And that's what they ask for. And a lot of times, like you're saying, you don't think, you're like, oh, I'm gonna put my card on file. Okay.
Like all your friends are looking at you like,
no one's saying anything, no one's pulling out their card, and I'm like, okay, here's my card. Like, listen, and I'm the type of person, I will, like, not anymore, I try to be more financially responsible, but I'm really good at giving the facade of like, I'm good. And there's a lot of people who will go and expect that there's gonna be that person, like this girl, like me or Danny, that's gonna be like, okay, I got it. Okay, here's my card. Like that's, and like to put it on a hotel is even crazier because you got to think about if you eat at the restaurant and you go to the spa, they're gonna charge everything to that one card. And like, again, like you said, this sense of entitlement to think, oh, this person got it. And the ATM is such a bullshit excuse. It's 2025. There's Cash App, there's Zelle, there's Venmo. There's so many different apps that you could pay that person right then and there. And also, again, be communicative. Like, I don't have the money right now. And I also need to be communicative too. Be like, you know what? I can't put it on my card. And guess what? If none of us can put it on our card, we're going home. And I think that's another thing where I start to be like, the night's ruined, and I put a lot of blame onto myself for no reason, where I'm like, oh, the night or the trip's gonna be ruined, so let me just pay, let me just keep the peace of everything. Sorry, I said a lot.
so this is the thing. Mel and I are very similar when it comes to money, where we do end up being the person to be like, oh, I got you. And then we do get resentful later on because people end up taking advantage. It's never like, oh, Danny's been getting me all this time, I should go treat her. No, these people are going to continue to suck you dry. This is the type of people they are. And they get so used to people paying for them that that's all they know. And that's what they stick to. And that's what's frustrating. But we get this from our parents. Our parents were always the type of people to be like, oh, we got it, even though they didn't really have it like that. And that's what Mel and I were saying. Like, we're not, we don't come from money. Like, we're not these rich girls, but we, A, want to have a good time, B, like, want to be a giving friend, but we don't want to get taken advantage of. And that's what ends up happening. And I'm the same way, where it's like, even if I'm at my last dollar, you're not gonna know about it. I never claim that I'm broke. I don't like to. I'm spiritual in that way, where I don't put that over me. I never say I'm broke. I never say I don't have this. Because that's not what I want to manifest. And I know some of you may not believe in that or whatever, but I don't talk about myself like that because I'm always abundant and I'm always good. Like, I'm always good. That's how I want to be perceived, and that's how I see myself. With that being said, I do think that I should be more honest. When I don't have it, I don't have it, because so often I'm not being transparent, and then I dish out money, and then I'm like, I fucked myself over where I wasn't budgeting properly, which I'm trying to be better at too. It's okay to tell people like, hey, I don't have it right now. But I guess I had this own perception where I didn't want to be that person that was like, oh, I'm broke, I don't got the money, or I didn't want to be perceived as cheap. And
right, that was our conditioning though, where again, our parents cared about how we looked on the outside and like how we carried ourselves. And I think it is good to like obviously carry yourself collectively, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's something that we've done our whole life.
We're over here like, oh, I'm treating my friend, and you know, maybe in the back of our mind we're like, yeah, they'll get me when you know they have it.
Well,
you
that's
know?
a different thing though. If you're treating like that's two different.
Well, yeah, treating, of course, that's different.
Right, and we can talk about that as well. But we're specifically talking about you're at some kind of event or something, and you're like, I'll cover the bill, send me the money. And I think when you go out with people, you have to have that communication from the beginning of the night. And that's something I'm learning, where I'm like, okay, I can't hold resentment towards anyone. I don't want anyone to hold resentment towards me. So like, start of the night, we have to talk about this, because you see videos on TikTok, Instagram all the time of like, oh, we went to dinner and now I gotta pay because you got a bottle of champagne. I didn't even drink the champagne. Da 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 da. Right? And like, Danny and I have been in that situation many times too, where it's like, I just want people to pay. If I say, hey, I'm gonna put this on my card, I don't need you to send me. We don't need to split it even. Look at the receipt. Look at what you ordered and send me money for what you ordered. Because at the end of the day, if everyone sends me money for what they ordered, then I'm going to be square. I don't need us to split it. And a plus tip, always add the tip. But like, I don't think we have to split things evenly. I think just pay for your share and we're good.
Absolutely. And that's another lesson I had to learn, because I would end up splitting the bill and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm paying a lot more than what I end up getting.
But I just think, again, when it comes to like the whole like dinner thing, I think pay for what you ordered and that's it. And then if it is someone's birthday, then that's another thing that comes into play. And I have a story I could tell too.
I know the story.
Do you?
Do I know the story?
You were there, but I don't know if it's so. It was another birthday. It was the birthday, I think it was the year before that actually. So it was me, my boyfriend at the time, Danny, two of my close friends, and one of my friends brings their friend to my birthday dinner. You remember this now?
I do remember this now, yes.
Get cozy, guys. Get the tea is being spilled. So they bring one of their friends who I don't care for. I'm so sorry to them. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but like, I was already honest with them from the beginning. Like, we don't get along. We don't mesh well.
And that's another conversation we got to talk about. Like, stop trying to combine friendship groups when some of us just don't match.
So they brought this person to my birthday dinner. And he did it at my birthday. And again, we were sharing. We got like a pitcher of margaritas. Everyone was drinking nachos. It was a Mexican restaurant. So margaritas, nachos, like everything we were just sharing. It was just a bunch of like shareable stuff. Pitchers of margaritas. Everyone's drinking, okay? Because again, with the like whole, well, I only ordered this, doesn't happen if we're ordering things for the table. And again, if you have to speak up before it happens. Assume that someone else is going to pay for you is just crazy. And that's kind of the overall message we're trying to say here. Like, to ever just assume that you're going to be paid for is just crazy to me. I've never thought that. Especially if you're a guest of a guest. Why would you expect to be paid? Unless the person you came with said, I got you, like, you know, Danny experienced. And then the bill came. This person that was a guest, their friend didn't put any money into the bill. And Danny and my best friend that was there had already both decided that they were going to pay for me. And they weren't expecting anyone else to pay for me, but the two of them were like, we'll take majority of it because we don't want Mel to. And my boyfriend at the time was there too. So like, there was 3 people who had already said that they would cover me because it's my birthday. And like, I don't think that it falls upon everyone to pay for the birthday person. If someone, you know, like you said, if you're discussing this, but guests didn't even put in for themselves. And so we all worked together. Me, my two friends, and the guests all worked together. And the next day at work, me and my my one friend, I think I need to start using names. Like,
Yeah, just give them fake names.
I'm gonna say friend A
Okay.
and friend B. Friend B brought the guests with them. Me and friend A are talking the next day at work, but you gotta be careful when you're talking at work, especially when the people that you work with, the person that's in the story is also in the building, where we're like, they didn't put in any money. They didn't put in any money. Like, that's so crazy. Like, how do you come to dinner with someone and you don't put in any money? And we were both just kind of like, because that friend that I had at the time, me and him were both very much like always paying for people too. We were always like, I got you, like back and forth, which is a good friendship and relationship where it's like you just both constantly get each other and you're constantly doing things for each other because you care about each other and whatever. And I guess that person had ended up overhearing, or it got back to them or something, because later that day they go and give her money because she ended up having to basically cover. I don't know how it worked out, if she had to cover him or if like everyone else ended. I don't really fully remember that part of it. I just know that they didn't put in any money, and I think he ended up giving her like $20 or something, which again, if you don't have it, I understand if you don't have it. And that's again where it all comes down to communication.
Well, this is what I'm trying to understand is like, A, why would you come to somebody's birthday dinner that you're not even close with? That's the first problem right there. And B, you're coming to a birthday dinner with no money. That makes no sense to me.
Right, unless, like I said, unless friend B was like, I got you tonight. And that's the whole point of this video, right? Where like you said, oh, my friend said I got you, so that's why I went out. Where like I've done that to people before too, where they're like, oh, I don't really have it. I'm like, I got you, don't worry, let's go. But then there are times where we're just making plans together where they're like, hey, you want to go to dinner? I'm like, yeah, let's go to dinner. And then we get to dinner and they're like, I don't have my wallet. Like, that's the kind of the main person we're kind of talking about, where it's like, you knew you didn't have any money and you still chose to go out just expecting it. No one told you, no one prefaced, I got you before you even left the house. You just walked out your house and said, I'm good. And those are the kind of people, like I said, they think like the universe is like conspiring with them or something. Like, they're so delusional and entitled that they think everything's fine, I'm gonna get what I want. And karma, you're gonna get what you deserve when karma comes back around your fucking way. So listen, now you know the analogy you made at the beginning, the slippery slope, I like it now, okay? Because it is a fucking slippery slope. Because it's just so many, again, layers to it, where I'm like, if I invite someone out to eat or out to a movie or out to drinks, I'm not assuming that they're gonna pay for me, and I don't want them to assume that I'm gonna pay for them. And then when we get there, if again, there's always that person that's like, oh, actually, I don't have it, or oh, well, can you put it on your card because I'll pay you back. If you communicate it, you're a grown person, and you say, I'm gonna pay you back, then that's your word. That's, again, like you said earlier, it has more to do with you. That's you and your character.
I wanted to tell a story. My two coworkers that I was closest to were taking out another coworker for like a goodbye drinks, appetizers, right? Something like that. They were like, oh, let's take out, should I do ABC as well? Give me a name.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Okay. No. Let's do Curly.
Yeah, Larry, Mo. There you go.
What is their names?
Curly, Larry, and Mo.
Great. So Curly and Mo were taking Larry out, right? And they were like, oh, we're taking Larry out. Do you want to come? Like, we're having a goodbye for them. And I was like, I didn't really want to go at first. Like, they told me the day of, right? They end up convincing me. I was like, yeah, I'll go. Okay, sure. We go to this lovely rooftop. They order appetizers. I get a drink. They get drinks. We're having a good time, right? So this was originally Curly and Mo's plan to take Larry out. So the bill comes. Obviously, Larry's not paying because this is Larry's goodbye dinner. So Curly's sitting next to me, and the bill comes, and Curly goes, I don't have the money right now, but I got you guys on payday. So me and Mo had to split the bill. In the moment, I was like, okay, I should have spoken up. I should have. I still think about this till this day. I think about it a few times. I should have spoken up.
We just think about all of these things forever and always. Danny and I overthink every little thing, if you haven't noticed already. So it's all our anxious girlies out there. Come join us. We're working through a lot of things where we're always worried. We're just always worried. And then we don't want to be the bad guy. And then I had this realization of like, the bad people don't worry about if they're being bad people.
Well, you know what? I could have been like, oh, well, I can't cover yours. I can only cover mine and Larry's, because it's Larry's goodbye dinner. And, you know, I've had so many instances like this where the people are like, I'm going to Venmo you, and they never do. And then I just say I'm never going to go out to eat with them again, instead of like having the conversation.
But that's how you know that that person didn't even want a friendship to begin with. They're looking for like a sugar daddy or something, because it's like, if you actually wanted to have a friendship, you're not gonna let it slip away. And again, you're gonna have communication. It's the key. It's the word of the fucking video, word of the day, communication.
Well, it's funny you bring this up because someone actually referred to me as their sugar mama, and in my head I was like, no, what?
I've had someone did the exact same thing to me. Said the exact same thing to me before as sugar mama, and I was like, nope, done, block, delete. No. And then ever since then, I didn't block, delete, but ever since then, I just constantly kept. That's when I started to go, I don't have the money.
And they're the people that get other people to pay for them all the time. Mel and I have had this conversation many times because we want to be generous, and because I know people are going to be like, well, don't be generous if you have expectations. It's like, well, I guess we're hoping that we meet the people that are going to like provide that same energy back.
But that's the thing, I don't even have expectations to be like.
I do. I do. I do. I want friends that are going to be just as generous as I am.
And you should have community like that. But they're the people that I just expected, or the people I guess I get angry with, because I'm just like, I don't expect it. I know you just said you do expect it, but like to an extent though, I want to be that friend, but I want to have that appreciation. Like that's what I want. I don't care about you. I don't really care about the money. I care about more is like, do you even appreciate what this person is doing for you?
Exactly. I think maybe that's what it is. But no, I really do want people to like pour into me as much as I pour into them.
Right, and that's the thing too. Don't fucking, if you have nothing in your cup, don't drench yourself fucking squeezing yourself dry to like give someone something. And that's what I've realized, and now I'm giving more to myself. If you, and again, we're in such a bad financial state overall, and I know that's why again it's a tricky topic, because everyone I know, it seems like, is struggling, and everything's so expensive these days, and no one really has the money to do things and go out. So I just feel like, be appreciative of the people who are giving, because that's where and like again do you want to tell your story? Sorry, before I'm about to go on another topic.
What? I told my story. It was the sugar mama story.
Sorry, I cut you off in that. Did you want to continue?
I mean, it's obvious why. I was like, I got you, I'll buy you a drink, I light up this joint, you know, and they were like, oh, you're like my sugar mama. And in my head, I'm like, oh no, I thought, I thought we were gonna be a friendship where, you know, you're gonna pour back into me. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong for expecting that. Like, I know people, I can hear the comments now too, like, well, you should have never been so generous. It's just sad.
You can, if you take advantage of someone's generosity, they're gonna get to a point where they're exhausted, and then they're gonna kind of again, that's why I feel like a lot of these people that are being manipulative, they're kind of like, they have some kind of level of narcissism, and they're being manipulative, they're gaslighting you to the point where you feel like the crazy one, and then you feel like the bad person, and then we're sitting here spiraling now years later. After all this shit has already happened, we're still spiraling about it, and then there's still gonna be the people that are like, well, you're the problem, and then it's like, okay, I don't know what to do then.
But this is how more and more people just end up becoming selfish, and then we're losing the people that want to be generous and want to give back and want to be compassionate, because we're getting fucked over and getting taken advantage of, and then we're like, well, you know what, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Exactly. And that's why, again, it comes back to appreciation. Like, I don't even care if these people don't want to pay me back, but like, it's the fact that you just don't, the not caring is, I think, what gets to me. I've mentioned this in videos before, is if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Like, people will show you time and time again who they are. And that's why it's like pattern recognition of like, okay, you didn't do this one time, whatever, okay, forget about it. Second time, okay, maybe still. And then it's like third, fourth, fifth, it's like, okay, now this is repeating, and I am not your mom, and I'm not your therapist, and I'm not your teacher, and I don't have to go to an adult and be like, hey, you did this, da 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 da, and then you want to have a confrontation with me. Like you were saying, like, it's going to be a confrontation because that other person is making it a confrontation. They're like, well, why didn't you say anything to me? And it's like, I don't have to police you and, again, be a debt collector where I'm constantly, if you said, hey, I'm going to send you money, and every time I see you, you're like, I'm going to send it, I'm going to send it, I'm going to send it. It's the ball is in your court. Like, I don't have to keep telling you. And if I eventually just go, no worries, don't worry about it, it's still on you. Like, that's still a behavior of yours that you need to work on. I don't want that to get misconstrued either, where it's like, Danny and I are like, look at all I did for you, you ungrateful bitches, because we are doing it. Again, that's why it's a double-edged sword, because it's like, there are times where you are generally doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and like, again, is it a good deed if you say it's a good deed? And we want to get into that as well. But it's like, the people out there who get it, they know, we all have that one person who we know who is just getting by in life because people just keep doing everything for them. That is our main purpose. And again, like, if people, and that's why, again, communication, if someone says, I'm going to pay for you, fine. But I think, again, our main point is the person who just expects that over and over and over again from every person in their life. And like, I think we all kind of know that person, or a few people.
I agree. And I think another overall message, we're not the type of people to take advantage. So I think,
and yeah, that's another point of it, is taking advantage. Because again, if you're friends with someone, you guys are going to do things for each other. And it doesn't always have to be even. And I'm not sitting here keeping a tally. But again, it's more so of like, they're constant, like, they're never contributing at all. Then it's an issue. And that's the issue. You're never contributing, and you don't even feel any guilt that you're not contributing.
that's the message.
And that can go for relationships, family, that can go for so many other aspects. Like, you want to be in partnerships and communities where everyone's doing their part. It's like, if you're at a job and that person, there's that lazy coworker, you're holding us back. You're the flat tire. You're not pulling your weight.
Right. And that's pretty much how I feel about most scenarios. Like, I want things to be balanced and fair. And I think that's what ends up causing frustration was when somebody feels like there is an imbalance. And I think we all need to learn to communicate better. I mean, some people are great at communication, and I admire you for that. I think certain situations, I think I'm really strong in communicating, and then other situations I overthink a lot, and like I said, I don't want things to escalate into a conflict, so I do go into avoidance mode. I just think that self-awareness is important, but at the same time, some of these people are self-aware and they're like, yeah, I'm selfish and I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, pay for me. I don't care.
And that, again, those are the people we're specifically talking about, the people who they know what they're doing. And when we need it, not, what is the word? Infantilize an adult. Don't don't do that. You're not a child.
And that's the thing, is like we have this expectation of like, oh, you're a grown ass adult, you understand what you're doing, and you also, like Mel said, your word was, I'm going to pay you back. So I have this expectation that you're going to be true to your word, and then you're not true to your word, and then that's when things start to fall apart.
Exactly.
Do we want to segue, or do we want to say any last message? Because we said a lot, and I know this is going to invite a lot of different opinions.
That's why it's a tricky topic. Money is always going to be a tricky topic. Again, because it comes down to like taking advantage of people. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Sorry. Because I kept losing it throughout the video. But again, taking advantage of people, and like money is power. So there are people who wield that over someone, where they're like, I paid for everything. And I think that's what me and Danny get afraid of. And that's why we kind of have our own control issue. We're like, no one will pay for us, because I don't ever want to owe anyone anything. And that's kind of where we come from, because I get, again, the paranoia, which is not good to have. I'm working on it. But of like relying on someone in a way. And our parents instilled that in us, to not rely on anyone. Like, we had to get jobs at 16 and start paying our own phone bills and paying for our own shit at a young age. Like, you want something, get a job, get money, and then you can have that thing. So, and I think that's a great, I'm thankful to our parents for that. Because a lot of people were not raised that way. A lot of people were just kind of given whatever they wanted, or like found, just constantly, again, finding someone. And I think you just have to be careful, because we could be the type of people who are like, we're going to pay for everything and now I own you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're not. But you got to be careful, because if you're that person who thinks, I'm just going to skip through life, again, you got to be careful, because you don't know what situation you're going to end up in, and you don't know what kind of people you're going to meet, and you don't know. It's just dangerous, I feel like, to go about with that mentality, because you're taking advantage of people, and again, bad karma will come to you. But also, like, you're also letting people kind of dictate your life in a way where it's like you're only able to go out and have a good time if it's at someone else's expense, literally. Or like thinking about just relying on someone in general, right? Like, if you go out with no money, if you really do go out with no money and you forgot your wallet, even though like everything's on the phone now, that's excuse is kind of outdated. Or my phone's dead, I guess you can say now. But that's kind of like one of my points that I wanted to make, where it's like, I don't like to have to rely on someone. So that's where I also have this disconnection of people who do that, because I'm like, yeah, it's nice that you did this thing for me, but I never want to have to rely on someone to get things that I want. I don't know. Does that make sense? Is that point?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. But that just goes back to how we were raised, like you mentioned. And some people are way too comfortable relying on others, and they don't see the danger in relying on others and not having their own money and not having that self-sufficiency. They've already realized that they can get through life a certain way, so there's no awareness to change that pattern when they continuously make it through by just relying on others. So it's difficult to give them that message when they're just like, it's worked for me up until now, so why would I change it? A lot was said. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. We are going to be wrapping it up. We love you all, and we just want to see the world a better place. Another cliche, but we really do. We just want there to be justice and balance, and I think that's one of the reasons we have this podcast, because we want I know Mel's gonna be cringing at this, but we want to be a light in this world.
No, I'm not cringing. I just want them to know that we're also gonna put in the work, and we're not just gonna sit here and yap and shame people. And I just never want to come across as like holy. I never like the people that come across like holier than thou, because again, we didn't fall out of a coconut tree, and we don't live in a coconut tree, and we're not just telling you what to do. We want to set the example and lead by example.
Because we know who we are and what kind of person we are. And we're going to continuously highlight important messages that people need to hear and reminders they need to have, because we all have to care more. And we really do. All we have is each other. I'm giving you all the cliches today because it's the holiday season.
And you know what you should get for yourself and your loved ones? A book. And you want to know specifically what book? Because we said we were going to tell you. You should get them Fahrenheit 451 so we can all read it together. And maybe you've read it before, but you should reread it, because oh my god, do we have the same one? The same cover? Yes. 60th anniversary edition. Is that yours too? Yeah. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting loopy also. We're gonna be reading Fahrenheit 451
by Ray Bradbury.
We're hoping to finish it in the next month. We're giving ourselves a month. Finish it sooner, that's fine. Highlight, take notes, because a month from now we will be discussing, and maybe in other podcasts, stay tuned, our favorite word, stay tuned. Maybe there'll be small little discussions happening prior to that, so you want to really watch every single video we post, because you never know when it's gonna happen. No, just kidding. Well, we're gonna talk about it in a whole at the end of it, but we might mention it. We're gonna mention it a few times in case you didn't see this podcast.
Then how would they know we're gonna mention it a few times?
And I'm telling you, we're getting loopy. And you can get books. You can go to a used bookstore. You can go to the library. I like to own my books because that's my one thing that I love to collect. But you can go, I've found books at thrift shops. I've found, sometimes some neighborhoods have those little like small libraries that people leave books in, which is great. So yeah, this is the book we're reading.
We are hoping to finish it sometime in January. So pick up your copy, start reading, and come back to our next episode. I was going to give them a little synopsis, but I just want you to know that this book, I think, is more prevalent today than it's ever been. And if you do read it, you're going to see a lot of significance it has in our real world.
Yeah, Danny and I have already read it. We're rereading it. I don't know if I said that or not.
Thank you so much for watching.
Comment below.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what should we have them comment? Comments 451 and put 451 in the comments if you made it up to this point.
That's the new 6'7". Thank you. 451.
451. That's gonna be our rebellion code.
If you add it up, it equals 10. Sorry, I just like to think of things like that.
Completion. 10 represents completion.
And 2026 will also be a year of completion.
We're just aligned, you know. We do things without really realizing, but we're all ultimately always aligned.
So if you want to be in alignment, subscribe.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye. Cliches and contradictions, people.
I'm gonna get that tattooed. I do always say I'm a walking cliche.